Hey guys, welcome back to World Illuminator 11. I hope you had a great weekend and welcome if it is your first time checking out my channel. So at the beginning of last week, I said I was going to do a video about a word that came through when I was walking in the park on that day, and it was self-mastery. And it was self-mastery in relation to the divine feminine. So I had to think about this over the weekend and I wrote down some points, and there's quite a lot of points. I just counted them and there's 53 points on there. So I'm not going to do a video on 53 points, but what I've just decided to do is to make this the divine feminine week. So I'm going to be talking of, on each day, I'm going to pick a few of these cards and talk about a few of those things. And then I've also decided on each day to bring in the divine feminine power messages, because it's all about divine feminine strength and power, and by Liz Harrison, and just to see what messages the angels are giving us on that day as divine feminines. And then I'll also bring in a message of guidance from the angels, from the angel of light cards each day, to see what message comes through. So when you think about the word mastery, you're really, mastery is really about getting comprehensive knowledge about a topic, about a skill, about something. And in this case, it's about getting that comprehensive knowledge about yourself. So self-mastery as a divine feminine is about getting to have that comprehensive knowledge about yourself, digging deep within to find out who you truly are, and your true authentic self, rather than the person that you've sort of known yourself to be all your life. And when you start your spiritual journey, after you've been cracked open, when you've sort of met your divine counterpart and separation happens and you've been cracked open, then you start that self-mastery journey as a divine feminine. And that's about going deep within to take away all the layers, to find out who you truly are as a person, to go within your heart, to connect with your heart and find out what really makes your heart sing. So it's also about that, awareness of the things that are going on around you, that awareness of what makes you take, the things that are important to you. And it's also about, that self-discipline and that self-control and knowing about what is important to you. So so really important, to it is really, when I was thinking about it, I realized that that's what it is as a divine feminine. It's about that self mastery, going within and finding out who you truly are and what is important to you. And through learning that, it's a journey of you learning about yourself and becoming a master of yourself. And through that, you then, you are also you are having that mastery of your journey, your twin flame journey. You're having that mastery of your spiritual journey. You're having that mastery of your life, of your journey on as a spiritual being, having a human experience. And you are also nurturing yourself. You're nurturing your twin flame journey. You're nurturing your spiritual journey. You're nurturing your life, and you're nurturing your twin flame journey. So as you go towards union. So mastery is a really important one for the divine feminine. So the very first word that I came up, or word, the very first point that I came up with is, as a divine feminine, you start to see life and things from a completely different perspective. A different perspective to the way you'd always seen life, to the way you'd always seen things from before. You really start to get a clearer, you start to get clearer on what is important in life. You realize that some of the things that you probably thought were really important were not that important. To give myself as an example, quite a not so big example, but there were certain things that I used to find important, and those things were how many friends I had on Facebook, how popular I was, how many people had liked my posts, posting certain photos and making sure that they looked really good. For me at the time, those things were important, but you realize that, that's just a small example, but you realize that some of the things that you put importance in were not that important. You become clear about what is important in life. And one of the main things you become clear about is your connection to the divine, your connection to God, the universe, the creator, depending on what word you prefer to use. So it's about that connection. You really become connected to, you go back to that connection, because you came onto this earth, onto the planet earth, as a spirit, as a soul coming into this planet, coming from the creator. And when you come into this and onto this planet through socialization, through conditioning, school, and everything that you learn throughout your life, you really sort of disconnect from the creator. So this is about gaining that connection back. You start to master that connection back to your creator. And then there's also mastering, self mastery of that connection to yourself. And throughout your life, you probably would have thought that you're really connected to yourself, but when you've been cracked open, a separation has happened, you've been cracked open, and you start your spiritual journey, then you really start to connect to yourself. You start to really dig deep and find out what it is that is important to you, what it is that makes you who you truly are, who is that true, that real you deep down, that person that you've probably forgotten about all these years, or really never even got to know. So it's about getting to know yourself, getting to connect with your true self. And that is a really important thing that you become clear about and start to master as a divine feminine on your journey. And it's also about releasing the ego, and this is a really big one. It's not an easy one to do, but it's an important one. And you start to master releasing your ego. You can't ever completely let go of the ego, it will always be there, but you start to balance it out, and it's about learning to release it and focusing more on love. And so it's about mastering, releasing things such as judgment, greed, envy, jealousy, negative self talk, negativity, anger, all these sort of negative vibes, these things that really lower your vibration. You start to release those and you start to focus on love. And this is a really big one that you start to master as a divine feminine, because of course you've had love in the past, you've had relationships, you've got love for your family, but you start to see love from a different perspective, and you start to master the fact that there is that unconditional love. And what unconditional love means is that it's about letting go of all those things to do with the ego. And and your twin flame journey, for example, teaches you to let go of those things. Your divine counterpart teaches you to let go of those things, and you become more patient, you become, you're forgiving, you're not putting conditions on the actual love. So it's about mastering that love, mastering love at different levels of love, and about also getting to that point of having unconditional love for yourself, unconditional love for your divine counterparts, unconditional love for other people, unconditional love for the planet. And this is what you came into this world as a soul. You were all about love, because our creator created all of us, and when we came into this world, all our soul knew, all was just love. As part of spirit, we just knew love is that energy. And it's about going back and mastering that love, and understanding it from a completely different perspective to the way you've known love to be before, where it was always about getting love from outside, getting love from other people, and thinking that is what gave you love. But you start to realize that the most important is self-love, and you start to master self-love, and you start to know that self-love is the thing that actually brings you everything else that you desire in your life, something they never taught us, throughout all that socialization and conditioning. But self-love is what helps you, the self-care, self-respect, treating yourself, being good to yourself, talking positively to yourself, loving yourself. Those are the things that will lead you to that union that you want with your divine counterpart. It is what will lead you to having amazing relationships with other people, to actually knowing who you truly are, because you are connected with yourself and you have that self-love. And with self-love, you get to a place of wholeness and oneness. And that is how you came in as a soul. From when you first came onto planet Earth, you were in this place of oneness and wholeness. Is the ego and all the things that you've learned that take you away from that place. So it's about realizing that love does not come from outside. Love does not come from having, all this money and power and all these things. But you realize that love is from the inside. It's something that you work on inside, and you become whole. You give yourself that self-love, and your own cup starts to overflow, and then you become oneness and wholeness within yourself, to then be able to give that love to other people, to your divine counterparts, to other people. And but yeah, it's all about, first of all, getting to that place of being whole within yourself. And so, as a divine feminine, you really start to learn that you self mastery is about mastering the love, and learning about unconditional love, and mastering the fact that you have to have that love for yourself, that self respects, that knowing that you are worthy of having all the things that you dream of, and knowing that it all starts with you having that love within yourself. So that's the first part. Those are the first few cards that I'm going to talk about today. So the main one is about self-love and love. It's about mastering as a divine feminine. It's about self-mastery, and doing that mastery in terms of love and self-love. So I'm going to call upon the angels, and thank you, angels. A divine power message. There we go. Just one's fallen out. And what is it? Enjoy your journey. So the angels are saying, on this journey of self-love, on this journey of mastering, of self-mastery as a divine feminine, enjoy that journey. Do the things that really make you light up inside. Find out what it is. You can dig deep now as a divine feminine. You're going deep, and you are finding out what truly makes you light up inside. And it's about enjoying that journey, enjoying that love that you're giving to yourself, enjoying learning to master that self-love, finding the things that you enjoy doing, so that you can have joy in your life and be able to enjoy the life that you are living. So that is the message from the angels today, divine feminine, saying enjoy your journey as a divine feminine on this journey of self mastery. So thank you, angels. One card, please, on this day, on this Monday, to see what message is coming through. There we go. And this one is beginnings. So I'll just read that out and see what it says. And it says, life is a series of cycles, and a time of rebirth is indicated for you. This may mean a new phase in a relationship, the germination of a fresh idea, or the development of qualities in you like laughter, light, or hope. It may herald a total change. Do not be afraid to let go of the familiar, for the new cannot enter until the old and outworn has departed. So the angels are saying, let go of all and release all the ego as a divine feminine, and focus on love, and start to master that love. Release the familiar, what you've known all your life, and start to focus on that love and mastering that love, because it's bringing in new beginnings. And it says, your angel guidance is to accept the new, for it will be welcome when it arrives. Birth is a vulnerable time. The fragile life force needs to be protected and nurtured within you. Ask the angels to guide the new beginnings in your life safely to maturity. So the angels are basically saying you are going through a new beginning as a divine feminine. You are learning to master yourself on this journey. Enjoy the journey. Call upon the angels to help you with your journey of self-mastery, this new beginning as a divine feminine of mastering yourself, and they'll be there to help you. And it says here, they will nurture, that it says here, I welcome and nurture the new in my life. So you're calling upon the angels to help you to welcome the new that is coming in, that self-mastery of, the journey that you're going through as you learn to love yourself, because that is what is going to open doors for you to get into union with your divine counterpart, for you to have that love and to go back to understanding what true unconditional love is. So I hope that's really helpful, guys, on this day. And so that's day one, and tomorrow we'll be going on to day two. So this is the week of, strength and self mastery as a divine feminine. So, love, peace, positivity, and light. And I'll see you tomorrow, guys.